There you go.
There you go. Now you're rolling. Yeah, look over at your YouTube screen. There's nothing there yet, but there will be. Give it a second. There you go. You're live too. Yay, we made it. Episode 3, and we're only 1 minute late.
That's pretty good.
Yay, us. We were actually sitting here waiting for the clock to turn over. Oh, speaking of chat, change your chat as well. You know what? It's bugging me that I can't hear myself. Hang on.
Change my chat.
Yeah. So it says...
It says live.
Does it? Oh, okay. Never mind.
Oh, it doesn't over here.
Well, change the one over here. Wherever over here is.
Live chat.
Okay, you're okay there. Your YouTube says you're running. I just need to pop open YouTube itself.
Okay, so this is This, That, and Then Some with myself, Polykiss, and...
Me, hyperlynx. See, it says so right here.
Hyperlynx.
Although I have a microphone growing out of my nose on my t-shirt. Hang on. Yeah, how's that?
That's better.
Okay.
So we come out once a week to discuss pop culture, current events, tech, sports, gaming, polyamory, and pretty much anything that floats our boat.
Anything we feel like talking about that's not... Oh, apparently my YouTube has just started downloading everything on my channel.
Oh, interesting.
Not sure why. I'm just checking the streams to make sure they look all right.
Okay.
So you just keep talking for a second and go on with the intro.
We're hoping to have the occasional guest, but we're just sort of
Winging it.
winging it for this little bit till we get organized.
Perfect.
This is our third episode.
Already?
So you'd think we'd be organized.
And we're actually early this week.
Yeah, so we were kind of organized, yeah. Timestamps are added later, as are any guests' socials. Our socials should be below this.
Although sometimes if we know the guest ahead of time and they give us their socials on time, like early enough, we can put it in the description. I'm just loading up your YouTube channel just to check the feed, and I'll be right with you.
Okay.
I'm here. You can see my pretty face. My pretty tired face after work on the last 2 days.
Right.
There you are.
So we got a couple things that we wanted to talk about, basically in the area of intolerance and episodes of intolerance that are in the news or we've observed.
Yeah, I got a funny one to tell you.
So you go ahead and start.
Hang on, I'm just trying to figure why my YouTube is saying, oh, that's why. Because it's downloading everything off my channel for some reason. We're just going to leave that screen up, move OBS over here, and we're ready to go.
Okay.
Okay, so I was working, Friday night we had that show? We had that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, working a monster truck show. So I'm going to be a bit of a racist here and say redneck. Because it was mostly redneck. You know, on Friday nights. Our Friday night patrons are always a little strange no matter what the event.
Yeah.
And this is leading up to what happened. I got a radio call on my heads, in my ears, from the arena manager saying there was a guy standing near the customer service desk wearing an orange toque and no pants.
Interesting.
And once I was done shaking my head, and everybody at the gate looking at me going, did he just say what I thought he just said? So I saw the guy go past me, and I got a few steps behind him, and he turned around inside one of the tunnels. And I stopped him, and as I stopped him, he said, what? And I looked down and realized, yeah, he has, well, sort of pants on. He's wearing booty shorts and a crop top under his jacket, but his jacket is longer than his shorts.
So it looked like he
had no pants. Yeah, it looks like he had no pants on. Although, judging by what he was wearing, he probably shouldn't have had. He wasn't any point in having them on anyways. He was showing everything to the breeze. But I'll tell you the other half of the story in a minute. But we had a conversation afterwards with the staff, and I said to them, had that been a girl, and this been a different event, would that radio call have happened?
Exactly. Yeah.
And you think about it for a minute, and right, like really, why?
Well, it strikes me as if he wasn't aware of what you would have a problem with.
Yeah, because it was probably normal for him.
Yeah, he probably dresses that way all the time, and
well,
is well received. So,
Judging by his grandmother's reaction, I don't imagine he dresses that way at home.
well, or just at home, and she wasn't up for him.
Wasn't
being
up, yeah.
out and about like
Because
that.
he went to complain to her about us harassing him, and she took one look at him, and well, I now know why they did, and she slapped him across the face.
Wow.
She was old school, you could tell just by the way she reacted.
Yeah.
And then he
That's-
spent the rest of the night walking around with the jacket off,
Oh.
just so he wouldn't get stopped. But instead, he had a lot of patrons laughing at him. And like I said, again, had that been a woman or someone who identifies as a woman dressed like that at a concert, would anybody have said anything?
Oh, probably, but not to that degree.
Not to that extent. Yeah, exactly.
People are always in your face, but yeah. Oh, that's bonus for him for being that confident to walk around
Yeah.
dressed like that. So good.
I'm
good for him,
guessing
but
he doesn't do it very often.
maybe not. Yeah.
If he identifies as he, we don't know that.
Yeah, that could have been someone that's.
Yeah, and I spoke with the manager afterward and asked him the same question.
Would you have called me?
Would you have called me if that had been a woman or someone who identifies as a woman? And he goes, you know what? I don't know. And we had another issue last night, but I'll tell you that one later. It goes along to more of the other stuff you're talking about.
Okay. I got into this conversation as we were sort of planning about what to talk about tonight, because I was watching the news last night, Toronto channel, and they were talking about such an upswing in random violent episodes in Toronto, such that people are feeling like it's not safe to be a tourist, or to be like randomly just walking to your place, home to your place of business and so on. It's just not safe. Certain areas of town have always, of any town have issues, but this is pretty much across the greater Toronto area.
Yeah, it's happening all across Canada, actually.
Well, yeah, and I said, well, hey, that sounds familiar, because we've had that in Victoria even, but also in Vancouver, of sort of random weird things going on.
Bizarre violent attacks.
Yeah, and so I was
Swarming.
Yeah, swarming.
We've had a couple of mothers pushing babies around getting attacked here.
Yes.
Not as often as they thought it might have been, but it's not random. Well, it is completely random. These people don't know each other, but it's just, it's happening more and more. Why?
Yeah, and so I was looking at I googled it to see like what comes up and stuff, and they're saying, well, it's pandemic isolation.
No, that's an excuse.
Inciting stuff, and mayor of Toronto, John
Tory.
Yeah. He was saying, oh well, we have to deal with mental health issues better. This is mental health issues gone wrong, and that's of course the provincial government's fault.
Oh, of course. Hey, I'm gonna interrupt for just a second because it's kind of cool.
Yes.
I didn't think we'd be able to see it. I don't know if you can see it on your screen on OBS. You have a fireplace by your hand.
Oh, you can see it?
Oh yeah, you can see it. It's quick.
Oh.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. You'll put it out of focus.
There we go.
They can see it quite well, actually, the way you had it. Yeah.
Now
I just wanted to interrupt and say, hey, that looks really cool. I didn't think it would show up. Sorry. I'll go back to my cubby hole now.
This is it's not hot.
Yeah, it looks hot.
But it feels hot. Like I think it's hot, but it's
Yeah, that's a mental problem.
was a gift from my son Zach.
Yeah, he did well. He's been, and just as a note, I know he's not watching because he's busy, but he's doing well with us. He doesn't know this yet, but he's moving up to senior 1.
Oh, neat.
Hasn't even finished probation yet.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's going to get a pay raise.
Good stuff. Let's not say that. So.
He's not listening. We're good.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the
Sorry, I just saw it and thought it was cool.
my comforting little fireplace.
Yep.
Back to the randomness. There was one there as I was scanning through the Google stuff where I think it was Vancouver. No, yeah, I think it was Vancouver, where the person was shot with a crossbow, and they're talking about the homeless camps and the subsidized housing or kind of areas are sort of a target with violence, and here in Victoria they just scooped up some more weapons, drugs, and cash. And
we had
I
an
don't
issue
know.
here where just a random car was shot with a crossbow bolt, and he didn't even know it until he got home. That gentleman works for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he said he heard it, thought it was a pothole. You know, he hit a pothole or something. He didn't think nothing of it until he got home, looked at his his passenger door where his daughter was, and there's a crossbow bolt sticking out of it.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm living in a video game. Overcrowded cities and
Geez, I hope not. Although that means there'll be guns on every corner. Oh, wait, there is.
people desperate to provide housing and food security and things like that, and then this is, wow.
Makes you not want to go.
Crossbow?
Makes you not want to go out.
Well, I don't know that you're safe in your home, and there's lots of home invasions and stuff going on too. It's like what do we do? But
Yeah.
it's a particularly insulting for the folks in Toronto. I grew up in Toronto, and they like to believe that they're Toronto the good. There is no crime element in Toronto.
Take the rose-colored glasses off.
And that kind of stuff. So that's particularly rude for them. But it's rude for us as Canadians, really, to think we don't get it. We don't have gang stuff. We don't have. We do so quite a bit. Quite a bit.
Quite up. Oh yeah, you don't hear about it. I'm gonna do something here while we're talking, because I see this is a good spot to talk about guard things. We have a guard dog-ish. I've actually got her on camera today for us.
Oh, our favorite guard dog.
Our favorite guard dog. If I can find my password stuff.
She keeps me safe from the evil garbage guy all the time.
Oh, tell me about it. Is that the right? I can't remember the address.
She likes the post lady though.
Oh yeah, she's the regular postal letter carrier. Yeah, not the replacement when she goes on vacation. She doesn't like that. Just keep talking. I'll keep typing.
She likes most of the neighbors too.
Yeah, she's pretty good with the neighbors. There's a couple she doesn't know.
She only gets cranky if they don't say hello.
Yes, the twins were over the other night. The two little ones.
Oh yeah. Neighbors.
And they were on the. That's bizarre. They were on the I don't know what to call it, the upper ledge, I guess.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they're standing there, and the one was, okay, I'm an idiot and can't type. Okay, I need to do this the hard way. Hang on, give me a second. I can't talk and type at the same time anymore. I've lost that ability. Okay, so we do this. Yeah, and I guess it was the girl. I couldn't tell. It was kind of dark. What do you mean invalid password? Jeez. I'm getting invalid passwords. And she stood there for a good, I don't know, 10 minutes and talked to the dog.
Oh yeah.
Talked to Maisie for a while. Let's see if she's still in her cage. She was a second ago. This will take me a minute here. Yep, she's still in there. And we'll make it full screen. And let's see if we can make this work. OBS, display capture 2. Yep, there she is.
Maisie,
She can't hear you.
you're sleeping.
Yeah, I can wink her up. There, you can only see the, oh, there, toe twitch. Maisie.
She's dreaming.
Oh, see the eyes go up?
Maisie.
Yeah.
Maisie, where are you?
Maisie, lift your head up. What are you doing?
Maisie.
She's like, I see you guys. Go away. Okay, there we go. We're back. That's the guard dog around. She keeps us safe. Although she's going to go through my chair one of these nights when we come home from work. She pretty much levitates off the ground.
Yeah. She's so happy to see you when you get back from work. Gone so long. Left with this old woman I don't like.
Oh, sorry, my YouTube was open on the iPad. And now she's awake, of course. Like, no, I'm getting comfy. I don't know why she's in her crate. Oh, Papa must have went out. Well, he's here. He must be. Oh, I know what it is. It's the same as when you and I fall asleep in the chair.
Yeah.
She goes in her crate.
You're far too boring.
You're far too boring.
You've
Yes.
stopped.
So, anyways, let's get back to what we're talking about.
Me. You're going to talk about guard things. Oh.
Mm-mm. That was guard things. That was the guard dog.
Okay. So have you seen other incidences at work?
Not as much. Now, earlier this year we had 2 drag shows. One was better than the other. I'm not impressed with the one group, and neither is the arena, but that's a different story. Now, we didn't get the problems we're having in other places. Like, I know the other day they had a protest at the drag reading, I guess, I don't know, like story time they're calling it.
Right.
In Coquitlam, and they had protesters. But they had supporters out as well, and the supporters outnumbered the protesters. To the point where the cops had to stop the supporters from getting too close to the protesters.
They supporters protested in song, which I thought was
It was kind of cute, yeah.
kind of cute.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about
That's becoming the norm. We're seeing more protests about these things, saying that they're corrupting our children. I think more they're educating our children than anything else.
Yeah.
They need to know what's out in the world. We can't keep them in a box.
True.
You know, they're going to go out there eventually. Eventually, they have to break the doorknob and go outside.
And I think a kid should be surrounded by people who entertain them and
Mm-hmm.
with passion and love and a positive message, as opposed to there's a wealth of negative messages in the world.
Oh, jeez, you turn on the TV and you see it every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw a full half-hour news of good things? No. Nobody watches the news then if you do that.
Not at all. So is this different?
What's that?
The amount of violence.
It's definitely increasing. I mean, look at like I said, we talked about this. The 2. I know of 2 incidents that were on the radio here of the women they were spit on. They had coffee thrown at them.
When they were pushing a baby carriage.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah, there was 2 of them. There were 2 within a week.
So
I'm not really sure what if we can do anything, but where's it coming from? It's obviously there are some issues of mental illness around.
yeah, well, I would also agree that most of us have issues with
Yes.
with peopling, and we've lost our some of our ability.
We've lost our ability to people.
Yeah, and to be polite and tolerant of
We're not. I mean, I'm starting to
annoyances
see,
and so on.
especially at work with the crowds, they're getting better. They're getting used to peopling. They don't mind sitting next to people. We had one the first night. He was swinging his cane at the guy in front of him.
Oh, nice.
Because the guy in front of him wouldn't shut up. I'm like, eh. And it was more the fact he was in the wrong seat and he couldn't see, and there was a whole underlying issue.
Right.
But he was also, I think there was some mental illness there.
Right.
So he got brought down to the concourse, and I watched the staff talk to him, and I kind of listened and got their opinions. And as long as we had him in his seat, in his proper seat, he was fine. And then he found somebody in front of him that spoke the same language, so to speak.
Mm.
It's a polite way of saying they're both old.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought they were in a sword fight there for a while, but with their canes.
Okay.
But he was happy then. And sometimes it's, you know, I have some issues with certain staff that, just throw them out. Why? You're just going to cause an issue trying to throw them out. If you could fix the problem that causes the anger issues and the I don't want to people anymore issue, then do that.
Yeah.
Little common sense goes a long way. I think people have lost that.
Yeah. Or
forgot how to use it.
It's definitely decreased.
Oh, for sure. People have less tolerance and less patience with people. They're quick to fly off the fripple handles.
Yeah.
Now, I think here on the island we're a little sheltered in some respect. We don't see as much of it. It's starting to creep in. In larger numbers. But when you go to the bigger cities, like when you go to Vancouver, you'll see it constantly. I mean, there's more people in a smaller area, right? They're all compressed and all condensed, and they've just been told, "Nah, you can all go out now." But yet you've just spent the last 2 years in your own house.
Yeah, true.
You're not sure who other people are. What do they look like? You have to ask people for ID now because you haven't seen them in so long.
I haven't observed really a lot, but I have seen like road rage in the grocery store.
Yeah.
And
constantly.
Yeah, and a lot
that's where it's starting to show. And a lot of that is brought by, like they said, being cooped up for so long and the price of groceries.
Yeah, you're stressed out because
you're stressed out of your face.
You've got $5 to buy $20 worth of groceries.
Well, look at the was it in Toronto they had the $40 piece of chicken?
Yeah. I think it was Toronto.
Yeah, and it was 4 pieces of chicken and it was like $50. 4 chicken breasts for like $50. It's $20-30 a pound or something, or whatever, kilogram. Sorry. Like, hello. No wonder people are stressed out of their face.
Yeah, so it makes you a little less interested in being polite, but really when you understand that everybody is stressed out of their face.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Just chill. But I have seen people
get people
very agitated because they have to wait 2 seconds for someone to move out of their way in the
line
in the grocery store. And the other day I was birthday trip there to the casino up in Duncan.
Yeah.
And were
unfortunately I had to work.
A little bit agitated because you were
parked in their spot.
Well, I was hesitating.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know the place and kind of looking for a game that I might.
Oh, and you were blocking the view of their game?
Want to lose some money at. And no, it's just my body was in the way of them getting past me to whatever game.
Oh dear.
And I might be thinking about this here game they won and so on. It's like, I don't know, I'm just a visitor. It's okay. I can lose money at any game. Doesn't matter. So, but I didn't notice a little bit of that.
Pull your mic towards you.
And given that there was not a lot of people in the place in the daytime anyways.
Yeah, I heard the attendance is a little low there during the day. The weekends are really busy there.
It's not like they were lined up out the door to use the game. So,
no.
Like, relax. Give me 2 seconds. And I'm a little sensitive to I'm a little sensitive to that because I still have a knee that's bothering me, so I kind of limp around a little bit. Than I want to be.
Your son just jumped into my chat, Zach.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He just said Hogwarts Legacy is gonna be dope.
Oh, Hogwarts Legacy.
He wants to play that too, eh?
Yeah. I was thinking about going back onto my Twitch and playing that or
one of the other games. I know you wanted to try Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. You have that ability now with your Game Pass.
Yeah, I had the regular Lego.
Don't know yet. You can go. I'm going to interrupt for a second because he asked a question. I'm going to go onto the website, the Wizarding World website, and you can do your house sort there and bring it to the game. You can link the Harry Potter site to the game itself, the Wizarding World site. Sorry to change your subject.
See, that would catch my imagination.
And you can also.
I'm not much for shooter games and stuff.
No, it's well, it's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's an RPG. It's a role playing game.
Right. So I'll be
using the wands and
waving my wand and
maybe
crossbow, maybe.
No crossbows in Harry Potter. Not yet, anyways. Yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah. Yeah, you can go to Wizarding World. I think it's wizardingworld.com and create your Hogwarts profile, and then you can link the two accounts when they come together. I watched that on a video the other day, and I just basically said the same thing your son just said. What? Yeah, they're linking them to the site. Sorry to change subject, people, those that were listening. we don't get interrupted by a chat very often, so I thought we'd say something.
I think it's excellent to get interrupted by a chat.
Yeah, that's true.
Shall I do an advertisement?
Sure, it's shameless plug time.
Okay, shameless plug for Philith Publishing. We are celebrating our 20th anniversary this year and accepting submissions for publication as follows. So we'll celebrate 20 years of producing quality literature from Canadian and international authors in 2023. We aim to publish 20 single author or co-authored projects and a 20th anniversary anthology of short stories and poetry this year. We are looking for book projects focusing on diversity, inclusion, and a unique take on one of the following: genre, plot, topic, characters, culture, traditions, illustration, photography, author or artist, adult fiction.
It's on the screen.
Okay, adult fiction and non-fiction. Yeah, a youth, young adult fiction or non-fiction. Children's books considered. Submit your complete final edit manuscript in a Word document or PDF attached to an email with manuscript in the subject line to publishing@philidithbooks.com. The 20th anniversary anthology project, we are looking for submissions of final edit short stories, essays, 3,000 word minimum, or poetry 40 word minimum in a PDF or Word document attached to an email with anthology in the subject line and send to publishing@philidithbooks.com. If you want to read all that, the website is philidithbooks.com/collections/submissions, and you'll see in that screen that hyperlynx showed you, there's a little photo with candles in the bottom.
It's up there now.
That's details that'll tell you what the payment is for those submissions and all the sort of minute details of that. So we're looking forward to celebrating our 20th anniversary with you and getting you to know the authors that we have that are amazing. We have 60 some odd authors that are amazing and contributing to our current catalog, which is available at philidithbooks.com. So that's FILIDH books.com, and you'll find this information and our catalog of our current books. So
we will put that actual URL, including the submissions one, in the show notes. Okay. So when they jump in and look at the description afterwards, it'll be in there.
Philidith Books is our sponsor.
One of our only sponsors.
We have a few, but that's
our main sponsor. They're the ones that push the money, right?
Sponsor for this particular segment, this particular show. So back to you. Tell me some other crazy stories from work.
I only had the 2 this week. I only had 2 shows.
Oh, you were talking about...
I was talking about it's not a crazy story. It happened after the game while they were given truck rides, or after the event. They were given monster truck rides. You know, you paid $10 and you went for a minute and a half, and I call that a cash cow. $140 a minute.
They used to give elephant rides when the circus came down.
Oh, no, thank you. Anyways, and I don't know what you wouldn't call this. Wouldn't be called intolerance. This might be something else. where a young blind child got on the truck. I wouldn't say blind because I guess he could see somewhat, but he handed his cane over to the staff. And they, as soon as he got on, Mom and Dad saw it. The 4 staff members were kind of making fun of his cane and wiggling around and typing and bopping into things with it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's not a good thing.
And these were grown adults behaving
well,
like morons?
I wouldn't call them grown adults, but they were somewhere between teenager and adult. How's that? They were still high schoolers.
Oh, they were...
they were staff, but they were ice crew kind of thing.
Right. Okay.
They got a speaking to afterwards. I don't know what was said. I wasn't there. I just know it was, and all the parents wanted was an educational teaching moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you know what? They may not have known. You know, it might have been acceptable in their peer group. Shouldn't be, but it might have been. I could go all day talking about silly work stories. That's a whole episode on itself.
Yeah. We were talking too about this trend of
parenting.
Parents.
Or in one case, having us parent. They drop their children off between 12 and 14 and expect us, the staff, to watch them. It's not our job to babysit your children.
So the kids are between 12 and 14?
Yeah, roughly.
Well, you would drop them off at the mall, though.
Yeah, and they do the same thing there. Expect the staff at the mall to look after your children.
Yeah.
Or in some cases, as last night, the parents are there with them. And I'm just going to chalk that up to entitled. They were climbing on the crushed cars, or soon to be crushed cars. So it's dangerous. And they were told to get down, and the mother got, well, let's just say seriously offended. That how dare our staff talk to her child? To the point where she raised her arm up like she was going to swing at one of my staff. No, that's a no-no. That's a good way to get thrown out.
Huh.
But you see that a lot because you tell them not to, and adults do it too. Grown-ass adults do it too.
So there's a question of the parent had no understanding that was kind of a dangerous thing to do, or they just didn't want to challenge their child's
probably more the latter because
expression.
There was caution tape. They're climbing over caution tape. It's quite clear that you shouldn't, and there's signs that say do not climb on the cars.
Wow.
It's entitlement. Their kid wants up there. They want to picture their kid. They don't care what it says.
And then if something happens, they'll care.
They'll care pretty quick. They'll bring out the lawyers as fast as you can sneeze. But you see that a lot. It's gotten bad over the years. I've seen it when I was younger. Guys that go skiing, right, in the avalanche zones, willingly bypassing the signs, or they'll go backcountry, go underneath the rope that says "Don't go here." They still do it. They don't read signs. They don't. We have problems with that every night. You know, like the report I did, the whack-a-mole game.
Right. Yeah.
There's signs all over the building I work in that say no re-entry, which means you can go out, but you can't get back in. Guess what? They walk right past it and go out. And then when you challenge them saying they can't come back in, they're like, oh, really? You walked past the sign.
Yep.
Big letters.
Yeah, I remember working with that.
Yeah, they just can't see them. They don't. Or they totally ignore them until if it stops them from doing what they're doing, they don't see the sign. Although, having said that, we had some incidents the last 2 nights where the back of house was cut off. Here, let me take my, I'll just take the camera here and I'll chat while you're doing that sneezy thing. We have back of house. Normally we have guards positioned there to prevent people from going backstage. Didn't have any this time. We had bike racks, curtains, the usual, but a stop sign. And it stopped them. They saw the stop sign and they turned around and walked the other way.
Huh. So they didn't have to...
let me rephrase that. Most of them stopped.
They didn't have to read anything.
There was a giant stop sign that said stop.
Something that they're conditioned to respond to. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, watch where you're leaning away from your mic. Your noise gate doesn't open.
Yep.
You got to keep your head a constant position in the front of the microphone. But anyways, yeah, I thought that was hilarious. And I'm still surprised to this day, considering what a social taboo it is. People trying to get out and have a cigarette. Why? It's 4 hours tops. Get some gum. I mean, I'm an ex-smoker.
Used to amuse me that
You know, like why?
that if it's not a cigarette that we're wanting to do,
Yeah.
like I have a joint that I want to
No, we got a couple of those that said, "Hey, I want
in the
to."
stairwell or the bathroom
Yeah,
or something.
I want to go out and have a joint. Okay.
I don't care what you're smoking. You
Yeah.
can't smoke in the building.
Yeah, we used to have that when I worked in Vancouver. We're not throwing you out for smoking a cigarette or a joint. We're just throwing you out because you're smoking.
Yeah.
I don't care what you're
And
smoking.
vaping isn't smoking, so therefore.
Oh yeah, well,
we
see,
should
the
be able to do
biggest
that too.
problem with vaping, and if your son is still here, he can attest to that. There are electronic vapes that don't have smoke. They're completely smokeless. No, he's gone now. He left. Children. Sheesh. Right? They're completely smokeless. We have no idea they're doing it. Except when they try to hide it under their coat and, you know. Oh, speaking of chat, unrelated, can you see the chat in the middle of the screen there in OBS?
Yeah.
Okay, that's my chat. So if we're on the channel, I just realized that I have my chat window on either side of the screen, depending on who's up.
Oh.
So if I put you up here, see your pretty face, right? The chat's over by your ear. There's a little gray screen over here.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I think that might even be your chat.
Well, there's nothing going on in my chat.
That's because nobody's saying anything to you.
Nobody loves me.
Nobody loves me. Your kid needs to jump onto your channel and give some love to both screens.
Yes.
Your kids that are not doing anything needs to, go to both screens. What, Sorry, just had a tweet I had to look at. We're on a bit of a time crunch today, right?
A
Little bit. What time do you...
Let's
You got to leave by 5 o'clock.
Oh, did you want to talk about sports?
Well,
About,
yeah, we could talk about that.
The hockey world.
I'd
is-
rather not talk about that, but we all saw it coming. I didn't last night because I was working. And the Canucks finally fired Bruce. And I don't like the way they did it. But he knew he was gone. His post-game presser last night, he was almost in tears over it. He really enjoyed coaching there. You know, I'm not sure. You can't fire the players, so you got to fire somebody. You certainly can't fire the owners. Although I heard a rumor that there is something afoot between Bruce and Trevor Linden and an unnamed moneybags
to buy the
to buy the
Canucks.
teams from the Aquilinis. Now, I don't think that the problem is it's not the pockets you need to have. It's the frickin' salary cap that drives you nuts.
It's too high.
It's too low.
No, what they're currently paying is too high.
Yeah. Well, that's why there's a salary cap. They it basically says you can only pay X number of dollars for your entire team all year round. Which is why they used to do what's called back-end loading, where they'd load the back end of the contract.
Right.
That was the Roberto Luongo special that got the Canucks in so much trouble for putting the higher end totals at the end of the contract, hoping that the salary cap would go up.
That's smart.
No, not really. It's kind of dumb because all it does is get you in trouble because you're speculating that the cap's going to go up.
It's not.
And it doesn't, and you're screwed. And then when players leave or retire before the end of that contract and the league figures out what you did, you get caught with a cap recapture penalty. The Canucks were paying that for the last 3 years. That's the only league I'm following. I don't know what's going on in the NFL. Don't care. The no fun league. Oh, you scored a touchdown. Well, you can't dance and celebrate. No, that's a penalty. And then there's the please, mister, let me catch the football. Don't hit me.
The only thing I've seen is about the dude that had a heart attack. on
That
the
was
field.
scary, eh?
Yeah.
As somebody that's had heart issues, that's scary. That was they're calling it a complete fluke. he collided with the player at, was it mid compression on his heart? And it stopped his heart. You look like you're ready to yawn again.
No, I'm behaving.
You and those lights, eh?
Yeah, well, these lights dimmed a little bit or better.
Yeah, they're not, the angle's not right. They need to be lower, but that'll put it right in your face. So we need a real studio. So if anybody wants to give us a house for free, any other sponsors out there want to give us a brand new house? Or I got a better idea. Just watch all my videos, all her videos, all the way to the end, and then watch another one. And we'll let YouTube royalties pay for our new house.
Yeah.
I know 4 or 5 YouTubers that have done that. Uh-oh. Somebody's behind us. Uh-oh. We have somebody in the room. We have a visitor. And you can see her on my screen. Hey, come up.
There's a puppy. Hi, puppy.
Oh. Yeah, he's in the... I forgot the door was open back there. That's why it's cooler in here. You can't really see her on my screen because we have the background blurred because, well, it's a mess behind me back there.
It's not that bad.
So yeah, no, it's not. I just think it looks cooler. That way you can't see the giant can of hot chocolate behind me.
That's more to the point. But you can see my fireplace.
You can. Only on your shot. Watch. See it? Look at your shot.
Yeah.
Now you can really... Now see, what I could do is this. Watch this. We'll do this real quick. You ready? There. Now you can really see it. I turned off the blur.
Yeah.
And you can see the dog leaving the room. I'm easy. Yeah, I can turn that back on. I want to switch camera shots. That looks really cool, though. That's a good spot for that. Good choice. You can sure see the difference in our cameras, eh? I need to reset yours better. Set yours up better so it... Because your side of the room looks darker.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got these drapes here.
Yeah, but mine adjusts for... And you know what's really funny? So we have the same lens. Our lenses are the same. Our camera lenses, they're the same. Although you're using the sun shield, I might take that off. But it's getting better. Our audio's working today. And hey, thank you. You reminded me to record this episode. We'll make shorts out of it and get better promos. What do you got left? What do you got left over there? Anything else you want to fire up at people today? You're thinking. I can tell. I smell smoke.
Not really. I was thinking of what tech things you were talking. There wasn't really much.
There wasn't. It's a pretty quiet week.
Happening,
You
so-
find right after the big Consumer Electronics Show, there's all kinds of weird and bizarre things out there. There's the electronic masturbator. I think it goes to 600 strokes a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, that would rip something off, wouldn't it?
Might, yeah.
We're far enough into the show we could talk about that. There is a nice picture out there of a giant tennis shoe, running shoe, whatever you want to call it. It's actually a PC.
A computer shaped like a tennis
Oh,
shoe.
yes.
Wow.
Yes. And then there's not a lot of computer related hardware issues. The big bunch tend not to make announcements at these things. They do prior to the show, which is kind of silly. And then we've got E3 coming up in June. Oh, I want to go to that.
E3?
Yeah, I don't know if I can get my passport in time.
Well, not if you don't start.
Mm.
I have to start the process.
Shh, don't tell anybody. And it's in June, so...
And pretty much don't care when you get it, because...
Yeah, I'm like I said, I may not get it this year, in which case I'll get my passport, but I may not get it in time. So I'll just have my passport and then go the following year, go to E3 and do the whole cycle.
But if you were to drive over the border and fly from
Seattle, you wouldn't need it.
You wouldn't need it, so...
For now.
Yeah, currently.
Yeah.
My passport's still good.
3 or 4 years, 3 years on yours?
5.
5 years. Wow.
I think mine was 5.
Yeah, my original passport had 2. That was for the trip to Vegas that I ended up going on.
I
That was a long time ago.
I have
though,
a passport, but like, where to go?
A passport will travel.
I would like to go in August to When Words Collide.
Where is
Calgary.
it? Is it Calgary this year? I thought it was Edmonton.
Yeah, it's the last one. No, it's Calgary. It's the last one. They're calling it quits after this year.
Really? Too bad. That was a good show.
Yeah.
Is it just because it's getting too expensive, or? Although right now, I'm not sure if I'd want to travel anywhere by air.
Yeah.
That's a real disaster that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
There are stories of luggage ending up in other countries when you're only traveling across the country.
But that's only Calgary. There's nothing to say I couldn't take a train or drive. Or
True. Although if you're going to fly that short a distance, I can say one word. Carry on.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Well, we went to Ontario with nothing but carry-ons.
Yeah.
Because we didn't trust them.
Yeah. Well, good point.
And if you take, you take enough to make 1 day or 2 days, and then you just buy what you need there.
Well, you kind of have to do that anyways because you can only take these little tiny bottles of stuff. So it's not
True,
like
yeah.
that shampoo of 100 milliliters of shampoo is going to last you very long.
Look at last year when I went to Prince George. I forgot I had my sunscreen in my bag, and they made me throw it out.
Yeah.
But yet, I was only coming out of Prince George, going there from here. They didn't touch it. Oh, because it was all checked going to Prince George. That's right. Never mind. I missed that show this year. I would like to do that one. Wait, did I say that out loud? I just agreed willingly to do a country show. With over 12,000 people in 3 days. Yeah, forget.
There's lots of stuff. This is where we need a vehicle that we can do across Canada and down through the States.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about airfares and stuff.
I wouldn't drive through the States right now.
I'm still thinking about that woman on TikTok that I've been watching that is trying to find her luggage after her and her husband went somewhere. I think it was Italy or something. But they went somewhere and their luggage was lost, but they had we call this AirTags.
Yeah, AirTag. Apple AirTags. You keep doing that. I'll be right back. I've got to go get rid of this coffee.
Okay, they had AirTags in their luggage and were able to track them, and the luggage arrived in Toronto fine, and then was moved to somewhere in Etobicoke, and Air Canada said they had lost it and offered them some compensation, not even remotely close, but some compensation, and we're still not keen on accepting all this as a done deal when their AirTags were still in the city. They went and followed and found the place, and there's a storage facility owned by some charity, and apparently Air Canada had sold their luggage as lost to a charity that I guess would sell off the stuff or to raise money. I don't know what the charity would do. But no one had. There was nothing in any of their contracts with Air Canada that said if we can't figure out whose luggage this is,
we're gonna sell it.
We get to sell it, or any of that stuff.
No, thanks.
Like, what? Wow.
Yeah, that's why the last 2 trips that we took, that we did, sorry, my glasses can't see past the end of my nose, that we did carry on. And boy, I don't think I've ever got that much in my bag, ever.
You can be pretty organized with how you fold stuff up to get it.
Well, look when I came out here with.
Did everything in rolls.
Look when I moved out here. We vacuum sealed everything and got it all into 2 suitcases.
That's smart.
But we found out that vacuum sealed only works in pressurized cabins because the stuff started to expand in the cargo hold.
Oh dear.
There was enough room in the suitcase that, it didn't blow up or anything.
That would be
That would be entertaining.
entertaining. What's that suitcase doing?
Yeah, it's getting bigger. Why is that suitcase growing? I'm sure they've had worse in an airline. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I bet you some of these.
I worked in when I was really young. I worked at the the terminal in Comox for the military flights, and some of the stuff these people shove in their suitcase would just amaze you. Of course, the best ones was the West Coast guys getting packages from the East Coast, and guess what's in it?
Fish.
Lobster. Lobster's very expensive out here. That's the one thing I noticed.
Well, it's not native to these.
Well,
fishing grounds.
there is West Coast lobster, but they're real tiny. They're just crawfish. They're little things.
Yeah, pretty.
But yeah, we had rifles. We had a jet engine.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, it was a turboprop from Herc. That took us 3 hours to get that engine inside the back of that airplane. Because you can't just use a crane and shove it in. It's got to be done by hand. Or you'd be in the luggage, cargo hold, whatever you call it, and you'd look up and there'd be pieces of the flight attendant's heels whacking you in the head because they'd get them stuck in the floor.
Oh, interesting.
That's why they stopped allowing the flight attendants to wear heels, because they were sharp enough they'd go through the floor. Now, the cargo hold's pressurized, so it's not that big of a deal, but...
That's a little bit disconcerting.
That they'd walk through the floor? Yeah, they're not very thick. The floors aren't very thick in an airplane.
Well, that's exactly. And here I am sitting in this here seat.
Yeah, well, no, where the seats are is reinforced, but the actual aisle is not.
Oh, so next time I go to the bathroom, I'm going to want to make sure I don't have heels on.
Yeah.
That's great.
There are people that will not go to the bathroom on an airplane. You got to walk outside to change your mind.
Yes, well, there's that. Yeah.
It's like an outhouse. It's kind of like the bathroom downstairs. It's kind of tiny.
Oh, it's way smaller than that.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's right up there with the bathrooms on a Greyhound.
You'd be surprised what you could do in those bathrooms.
Yeah, you got to make sure that you put the lid down, but when you stand up, because you could sit.
You stand on it.
Back in, yeah.
They're big enough for some things on a bus.
Are you telling stories now?
Not on this channel.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I've never ridden a bus farther than I went Trenton to Toronto. So 120 miles. 120K. Not that far.
Well, I went Vancouver to Prince George.
You went a lot farther than that on a bus.
Yeah.
You went from the other end of the country to this end of the country on a bus.
No, I went from Toronto to Vancouver on a bus, yeah.
It's still a bus.
Yeah, that's true.
Was it one bus or did you change buses?
We changed buses every 8 hours.
Ugh. Just change buses or drivers?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
Jeez. I know one of the guys I watch on YouTube, because he's not playing hockey right now because he had to have, was it hip surgery or knee surgery? Something along that line. So he's added vlogs to his YouTube channel where he's now riding the train from Vancouver to Winnipeg just for fun.
Well, the train wouldn't be so bad.
It's apparently enough and you can do it cheap if you want to. I'd rather pay I want to do the Rocky Mountaineer. Go through the Rocky Mountains on train.
Yeah.
With the big car and do it at night.
With the overhead.
Yeah. With the observation car, as they call
viewing
it.
Thing, yeah. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. I was looking at that, but it's
so expensive.
Like $4,000 or something.
Oh, it's insane. Now, like I said, if you wanted to cross Canada cheap, you can do cross Canada cheap, but you don't get a bed. You sleep in your chair. There's no access to showers. You get a bathroom. You can go to the bathroom.
I did Toronto to Ottawa.
I did Toronto, Ottawa, sort of Trenton to Ottawa on a train.
Yeah, I did it on my thumb.
You did it on a thumb?
Yeah.
Oh, 2 feet thumb on a heartbeat?
I hitchhiked from Toronto to Ottawa.
Yeah, you don't see that going anymore.
And then I got a bus ride back.
Hey, you don't see that going anymore.
Hitchhiking? No.
No, that's a no-no.
No, I would.
I did that as a 12-year-old.
I think I had horseshoes up my butt because
I
never had any trouble ever.
Neither did I. I'm glad Dad's not listening. But
and I used to hitchhike from Hamilton to Mississauga regularly from university to
and then I discovered that I was strong enough to ride my bike into town from where we lived, and that was enough of that. I just rode my bike.
Yeah, I tried to take the bus when I could, but once in a while
2 feet, thumb, and a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would catch a ride with some truck driver coming from Hamilton,
Some dude.
and he'd drop me at the intersection.
Some random dude.
The 401
Mm.
at my
That's
intersection. Yeah.
Closest overpass.
Yeah.
Interchange, whatever they call it. I forgot.
Yeah, and I could usually hop a local bus there.
Yeah. I'm going to lean back a little here and just chill.
Once I got out of the truck and was walking down the road, and car pulled up beside me, and it was an ex-boyfriend saying, "Did you just get out of that truck?"
And you're like, yes, I did.
Yes. Are you stupid? Yes.
No, I'm going to university. I'm not stupid.
I'm going to drive you, and I'm going to tell your mother.
Yeah. No, don't do that anymore. That's a no-no. You don't see it anymore either. Very, very rarely on the highways there. Well, you can't hitchhike on the highway around here anyways, but you don't see it as much as it used to be. Every 50 feet you'd see one.
Yes. Yeah, you don't see it very much. Because people, I don't know who's more scared, the person hitchhiking or the person
driving
the car.
That's going to pick them up.
Yeah. A lot of times it's...
my letting some axe murderer enter into my car.
Yeah, it's an equal... issue.
Equal opportunity problem.
It's like, who's the worst?
I don't know. It's just the way the world's gone now. It's not that it's not safe to live places. If you watch what you're doing and, you don't have to walk around scared all the time.
Well, no, a little common sense goes a long way, and just don't. But that doesn't prevent random attacks like
the
ones where the teenage girls were
swarming. Yeah, that's becoming an issue.
Swarming and killing people.
Now you go, what's up with that?
Not just beating up on, but actually killing people.
What's up with that?
What the hell is going on there?
Well, we had one here.
Now,
quite a few years ago.
If it was, teenage boys, would we say, "Oh, well, of course"?
It's just boys.
And we're only shocked because it's girls.
Yeah. No. Not really.
Not really. I mean, when I first moved to Victoria, I moved to an area of first place we got, and with my parents at first, but the first place that I got with my kids was we had trouble getting an apartment because I had teenage children.
Yeah, and they wouldn't rent to you because you had teenage children.
Yes, and they were worried about that because teenage
children are evil.
Well, this swarming thing was a thing.
That had just happened not that long before
they
that.
They turned on one of their own and killed one of their own.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Like another teenager, and
that's pretty scary.
At that point, and so it's that was 20 some odd years ago. So
it's still prevalent.
It's not. I don't think that it's the pandemic and it's something new.
It's been going on for a while.
Social media maybe helps people organize
but
better.
Does that come from bad parenting?
No.
Is that where it starts?
No, I don't think so, because.
Or is it peer pressure?
I think peer pressure has more to do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, bad parenting
helps the problem, but peer pressure is where it starts.
Might have an effect, but you can be a really good parent and
still have a horrible child.
It's an agency. It's their choices and so on when they get to be a certain age, and they can be swayed by their peers quite strongly. They're with them more than they're with you, right?
Yep. And you can't watch them all the time.
Right, but there can
be. And
if
you start tagging their phones and things.
Crappy parents that produce children who are rock stars.
Yes.
So I don't think there's a lot that goes into.
A lot of it comes from the child itself.
There's
the kids themselves.
It makes me think of my grade 13 biology class and discussion on whether it's environment or nature or nurture is the thing. Like, are you born this way, or is this how you're brought up and what's around you?
Okay, that's bizarre. Well, it's good timing anyways, because we have reached our hour.
Oh, have we?
We have. Let me just pull up my YouTube stream and see what's going on real quick. And I'm kind of stalling. Yeah, it says we're both live. It's just OBS that's kind of quit. Oh, you might be right. No, there I am.
Yeah, it's back now.
Bizarre, eh?
Yeah.
360? Why? There we go. That looks better. Yeah, yours is up. Mine's up. That's just the way OBS decided that it was being stupid. Yeah, we did have a drop off here of yours real quick. But let me just put both of us up here. There we go.